Hola and buenos dias from Oaxaca. We're about 7 hours from Mexico City now. Spent the last 4 days up there and pretty much saw half of it, if I'm honest, but it's a fantastic place, Mexico City, and I 100% will be back there. But right now, we're in a smaller city in the mountains in Oaxaca. So Oaxaca is one of Mexico's many UNESCO heritage sites. The entire city is colonial influence, I believe, as you can already see by the many colourful buildings around me. So today we're just going to kind of chill. We're going to see what there is, have a look at some street art, the cathedral, some buildings, and I'm also on the hunt for some body wash, as I seem to have run out, and it is very, very hard to get body wash here. Everywhere just does soap, so hopefully we'll find some. So like I've said, I've been in Mexico now for I think around about 5-6 days. Feel like I've got the lay of the land, really. Mexico City, in terms of safety, I didn't really feel unsafe at all. I went to La Merced Market, felt fine there. I was obviously staying in Doctores, which is famously one of the more peligroso districts. Felt absolutely fine there. And then I spent the next 3 days in Centro in a hostel at Papacho. Fantastic place, loved it. Had some fantastic people there as well. And again, didn't feel threatened at all, didn't feel unsafe. Felt absolutely fine. I think the high police presence as well was very reassuring. You know, they're always on every street corner, they're always on the metros, near the buses, driving about. So one thing I would say is that it's always the minority that speak the loudest, you know, those that have the stories of being robbed or mugged or pickpocketed, those who went round the dark streets at night. You always hear the stories from them. You never hear the stories of the people that went there and they were absolutely fine. So all I would say is, if you are planning a trip to Mexico City, just know where you're going, don't walk down dark streets at night, and just keep to your wits and you'll be absolutely fine. Awesome, man, they've got run clubs here. I need to get across. It's the one thing that I'm still unsure about here. If you watch my Spanish vlogs, you already know how much of an idiot I am when it comes to crossing the street. I mean, I have no idea how it works. You know, in England, it's very much cross the street when the green man is on. Every crossing has a green man. If it doesn't, it's a zebra crossing, and you've got to give way to pedestrians. Over here, it's a bit like the Wild West. It's a little bit more civilized than Southeast Asia, where it is every man for himself, but you still got to try and figure out if it's on red, it's on green for the traffic and not you. And you've got to find a point to cross, just like this. But the good thing is, a lot of these streets are one-way streets, so you don't have to be constantly looking both ways for traffic. Let me get off this really busy high street, and then I'll tell you where we're going to go first. So the first place I want to go first is Barrio Xochimilco, which is renowned for its street art. One thing I've noticed being here roughly 24 hours now is there's a lot of great artists. There's a lot of tattoo artists, a lot of graphic designers, a lot of really cool street art, graffiti artists, so it does feel like a very artistic city. The other thing I've noticed as well is there's quite a lot of expats here, and I guess sort of older tourists, not necessarily just backpackers. So the other thing I've kind of came across is a lot of the people here speak English, and I didn't expect that, but I didn't really do too much research coming to Oaxaca. I was kind of hoping to find out for myself. And that's exactly what I've done. It is quite a small city, however the region is quite big, I would say. You've got a lot of mountains in the distance as well. It's fantastic, you know, this city is pretty much in the mountains. So in contrast to Mexico City, it's much nicer, it's a much slower pace. So, you know, I was in Mexico City for 4 or 5 days. I think I did half of the things I wanted to do there. I really wanted to do Xochimilco because it's in the Lonely Planet 500 and I didn't get the chance, but that just means I'm gonna have to go back. I just bumped into a guy there who was very much like, oh, do you speak English? I think there's a market around here. I was like, I don't know. I think it's my first time around this area as well. But again, you know, there's a lot of Americans, a lot of older Americans. I guess they might be on holiday, they might be living out here, I'm not sure. But yeah, very expat heavy, I would say, in comparison to what I was thinking it was going to be. Yeah, just up this hill, we're coming into Barrio Xochimilco, which is renowned for its street art. So let's see if we can spot some. I mean, straight off the bat, you've got these amazing drones on these buildings. I mean, the colours are already fantastic, but really, really cool illustrations. So if you look here, I can't tell what kind of bird it is, but maybe it's a swallow. And then here you've got all of this, which is so sick. And turn around here, wow. Pretty cool little square with, I wonder what this is actually. just a kind of mural maybe. So it's called Monumento Cruz de Piedra. And can't find anything about what it is. And the thing is as well with the colour, it just really complements each other, the buildings, you know. I don't think they necessarily plan it out to, you know, colour it in a certain way. I think it's up to whoever owns the property, but a lot of blues, reds, yellows, greens, loud colours, but they do work well together, which is amazing to see. And then just here, you've got this amazing aqueduct going all the way along, which is kind of just hidden in the city. So let's keep going and see what we can find up here. So this is what I was mentioning, you know, you've got so many of these tattoo posters advertising different artists in the area. You've got tarot readings as well, which is interesting. It's also a really lovely city to walk through, you know, it's nice in the shade, it's lovely in the sun, but these really nice cobbled streets with all of these different colours, and it's very quiet, although it's only 10:15 at the moment, so I'm sure it'll come alive a little bit later on. Here we go. Hate is not welcome here. El odio no tiene lugar aquí. However, if you go in a little bit, you can see some of the graffiti saying "Gringo, go home." So it kind of contradicts the larger message. So for those of you who don't know, gringo basically just means tourist, a foreigner, or somebody who's not native to Latin America. And it just got me thinking actually, because I was wondering, you know, as I was walking around, there's a lot of tourists, a lot of expats, like how does it affect the locals? You know, are they quite receptive to it? Are they quite protective of their own country and their own city? You know, you look at the stuff that's going on in Barcelona, for example. There's a very loud, vocal group in Barcelona that are desperate for the tourists to clear off because they're causing problems with housing. You know, a lot of people are buying Airbnbs or buying properties to rent out as Airbnbs, and it's kind of turning the local city of Barcelona into a very pretentious situation. But I've never felt unwanted here so far in Mexico, but it's interesting to see that, you know, gringos go home, to see there are still some people out there who are not fond of the tourism. Here we go, some more of this amazing street art here. We've got a whole side of a building here, so hopefully you can see it, because I know the tree shade is kind of covering it, but wow, you've got a Mexican woman here carrying what looks to be some sort of statue or Aztec sculpture, I guess, on top of whatever she's carrying on her head as well. And you've got some skulls as well just in the corner hidden by the trees. Wow, yeah, more skulls there as well. And around the outside as well, you've got like fruits and animals and all things to do with food, I guess. Same on this side as well, you know, I think that's garlic and pineapple, watermelon up the top. It's so cool. I love street art when it's done right, because it just looks fantastic. It really livens up buildings as well. Alright, now we're walking through some back streets and we're finding a lot more, some cool like devil stuff here. A massive spider as well, and like I guess like some sort of demon or something. More demons. See if I can read what this says. So I think it just says Oaxaca actually. I'm surprised I can decode that, because I'm normally terrible at reading graffiti, but yeah. And then here you've got some more, trying to figure out what it is, just a guy leaning on a bin really. General sort of graffiti. What does it say? Hisekries. Hisekries? I don't know what that means, if that does say Hisekries. Not sure. If you guys know what that means, let me know in the comments, because it's way over my head. Ah, you got some more here as well. I think, is that Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes, I want to say? God, that's a throwback and a half. But I think we did find a reasonable amount of street art. You know, I didn't see too much about how many pieces there is or what the main streets were. It did just kind of say look around the neighborhood and you'll find stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. Now, I think we're going to head down to the east side of the city, check that out, see what there is around there. So here we are near Plaza de la Danza, which is in the west of the city. I can't remember if I said the east or the west, but we're in the west basically. And so what I also wanted to mention about security and thieves and pickpockets, etc., is that in Mexico City, you're always told as well when you go there, know where you're going, don't have your phone out or in your hand, or don't show any signs of wealth or anything like that. And it very much was the case, you know, all the locals as well, nobody had their phone out in the street, very rarely on the subway, like nobody was texting, they always had their phone out if they wanted to do something or needed it for something. Whereas here it's completely different. Everybody is walking around just with their phone in their hands, you know, just like this, and looking up at whatever they're looking at and texting friends. So it kind of gives me that reassurance. Mexico City, of course, it is dangerous in places and you do need to keep your wits about you, but I feel so much safer here, and I think it has been labelled possibly one of the safest cities in Mexico. I can very much see why. If the locals feel safe to just walk around with things out, then I should as well. That's right here. We have the Basilica de Nuestra Señora de la Soledad, which I cannot remember what that is, but that's what it is. It's a basilica. So let's see where we're going. Hola. ¿Es para gratis mirar? O sí? Vale, gracias. Oh, brilliant. It's free just to walk around and look, so it's fantastic. Don't really need a tour, just kind of looking around to see what there is here. Wow, it's pretty majestic when you get inside. Got an awesome courtyard, like beautiful sun trap as well in the middle. Wow, that's so sick. I love that. So what if there's like an event on? It seems to be screens and visual parties, direcciones. Oh, right, here we go. Get a drink here. What do I want? I need another bottle of water actually, so let's get a bottle of water. Let's get the water. Oh, how does it come out? Oh my god, it's stuck. It is literally stuck. Come on. There we go. Right, I have no idea where I'm walking here. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed, but a lot of officers, a lot of people doing some sort of work as well. Can't quite figure out what it is. A lot of people waiting. Municipal. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think this is also used as government facilities. I did read online that there were some government things that happen here, so maybe that's what this all is. It could be printing IDs or printing documents or a way for people to submit things. They do look like permanent officers as well, so it's not like they've just been set up for the day. So municipio pluricultural y multilingüe. Ah, okay. So it seems to be some sort of like multinational, multi-language thing. I'm not sure. Problem is as well, my Spanish isn't good enough to ask and understand the response. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time, I'm sure. That was cool just to wander in and have a little bit of a look around. Free as well, which was nice. Although, yeah, like I said, there seemed to be some sort of government thing, offices of some kind there. But interesting. It's what you get when you just walk into places randomly unannounced. Alright, let's have a look down here, the plaza. So it looks like restaurants, I guess. I wonder if there's any markets open. I think I could look around, maybe get something to eat as well. Yeah, it mainly does just look like restaurants or places you can sit down for something. Kind of want something on the go though. So the thing I've noticed as well about Oaxaca is there's not really too many street stalls and street markets. They do have more contained ones inside and buildings, etc. But you know, compared to Mexico City, where the streets were lined with taquerias and guys selling churros and sweets and drinks, there's not really any of that here, which is interesting. I did arrive on Wednesday, which was yesterday, and we were trying to find something, you know, churros, and one of the guys said that nobody really opens their stalls on Wednesdays, so maybe that was something to do with it. And again, like I said, it's currently 11:15, so it is quite early. You know, a lot of the guys do end up setting up about 11 and after that, so I can see why. I think what I'll do now is I'll head to the main square, the Zocalo, and have a look around there. I did go a little bit yesterday and this morning, but I haven't had a chance to look at the cathedral, for example, and just see what else there is, so maybe we can find something there. And also, we're still on that lookout for some shower gel or body wash, so I'm going to keep my eyes peeled because I've not really been doing that walking around here. And here we are in the main square, is the Carlo. I think behind me is the cathedral. Let me check what it's called though, because I probably should have done that before I hit record. It's the It's the Catedral Metropolitana de Oaxaca, Nuestra, and I can't read the rest. Señora de la Asunción. That is one hell of a mouthful for a cathedral, but here it is in all its glory. Might check to see if we can get to the top, because that's the one thing I was looking for, is a nice viewpoint of the city. You know, it's quite a mountainous area, but the city itself is actually quite flat. I think, like you saw before when I was walking down that side street, you know, you've got those huge mountains that just kind of go right up after the city ends, so it'd be nice to see if I can get like a good view of the city. I think the other option is like a rooftop bar, but I might just go there later, I think. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention is that I currently have Montezuma's Revenge. If you don't know what that is, I would say Google it, as long as you're not eating, but you can probably guess what it is. And the issue I've been having is that, you know, it's not comfortable to have. It's obviously it's not comfortable to have, but the thing is like, you know, a lot of people will just take Imodium, flush your system out and then go again, but the problem with that is that you don't build up the gut bacteria to fight it off again, so it's likely just to come back. So I've just kind of had to suffer with it. But luckily over here, one thing I have noticed is that there's a lot of public restrooms. They do charge to go in, you know, 5 pesos, 7 pesos. pesos, which is maybe, 20 pence, 25 pence. And at the moment, I will gladly pay that price because it just comes on whenever it wants. There's no time schedule, there's no warning. It's just a case of I need immediately to go to the toilet. But as I said, I've been suffering with it for a few days and I think it's on its way out, but we'll see. This morning was a bit ropey, but I felt alright today, so fingers crossed it keeps that way. But anyway, as I was saying before, oversharing, this is Zocalo, the main square. I think a lot of the main squares in Mexico are called the Zocalos. I believe there's some sort of historical relevance for that or reasoning. But yeah, it's reasonably lively, nice in the shade as well. It is currently 26 degrees, but I think we'll head over to the market just over there and see if we can find anything fun. Right, here we are. I think it's mainly a clothes and textiles market, but let's see. Oh, this is so cool. Lots of Oaxaca's branded things. You've got lighters, really cool jewellery as well. It's more like Oaxaca purses with branding on, which is cool. I like it. One thing I will mention is I do quite like the fact that they are putting Oaxaca on it, so it does feel somewhat relevant to the area. So, you're not just buying a random unbranded souvenir. It's like, if you saw my Guadalest vlog, you'll know that one of the problems I had were they were just selling stuff without Guadalest on it. It was just random tat, really. And I think, it is to make money, especially in Guadalest where there's a lot of tourism and there's not many people there, so you kind of are selling stuff just to the masses, really. But over here, there's a lot more personalization. It feels really cool. I like it. Some awesome ornaments. Wow. Hola. Qué bonita. Está bien. Gracias. Very beautiful, very colourful. That's what I love about these places. It just makes you feel so happy inside as well when you're surrounded by all this colour instead of block after block of skyscraper building, and especially in the UK where we don't have much colour. It is literally just grey all the time. And it's nice to have that change, especially when the sun's shining, clear skies. It does a lot for your motivation and for your mental health, I will say that. I feel fantastic out here. But yeah, interesting little market. Wasn't really anything that stood out to me. I think it was more feminine, I would say. There's a lot of short tops and purses and handbags and things, but very, very nice to look around. Love things like that. One thing I am still looking for is some body wash, some shower gel. I still can't find any, but let's head down past Zocalo and see if we can find some more shops. The other thing I wanted to mention is all of these shoe shiners that are around. There's so many in the main square. Got one over here. You've got 3 down this street. One in the distance there as well. And I was kind of thinking, do I want a shoe shine? But I don't think my shoes are there just yet. And they're also running shoes, so let me see. They're pretty fine right now. They could do with a little clean around the sides on the white, but nothing I really want to pay for at the minute. I reckon maybe in a week or so I'm going to need something like that. So wherever I end up, let's hope that there's somewhere doing shoe shining. Well, it seems to be common in Mexico, so fingers crossed. Okay, right. Whoa, hold up. I think we might have hit the jackpot here. I see what they've got. All right. I also need conditioner, but it's not a pressing matter. Gel para ellos, no. They've got over here as well. More like body spray, but let's go in and ask. Hola, ¿tiene gel de baño, por hombre?
¿Gel?
Sí.
Nada más tengo este medio.
Ah, sí.
Este.
Posiblemente. Sí, por favor. Es difícil, so.
72.
Sí, ¿tarjeta es posible? Gracias. Bien.
Okay.
Bien, gracias. Adiós. Success. I mean, it seems alright. Oat and royal jelly. I have no idea what this is going to smell like, but I'm going to be smelling like that for the next 3 weeks probably. I don't know, see how long it lasts. It's one of the things when I was flying out here, I left just a little 100ml thing because I only have hand luggage that I can take on the plane. But I was like, I'll be fine, should be fine to find like shampoo, conditioner, body lotion out there. My God, it has been a struggle. I found shampoo no problem, and I have a Head and Shoulders 2-in-1, but obviously with my blonde hair and it being bleached, I kind of need like a Pantene conditioner, like a solo condicionador, I think it's called. I just haven't found any. It's all 2-in-1s, and the only thing I did find was like this huge 1 litre bottle, which is just way too much. If I'm going to be taking other flights, I'm going to have to bin it. So we found some shower gel. Thank God for that. The other thing I do want want, although it's not a really pressing matter, is another pair of sunglasses. I do quite like these because they're Hawkers, you know, they cost about 20 quid, so they're half decent, you know, they're not just like a very cheap £2 plastic pair. But the problem is the little gel that sits on your nose, I've lost one of them, so my option is to find another gel that would fit it, or to buy another pair completely, and I think it's just easier to buy another pair completely, but we'll see, you know, they're not causing me too much bother at the minute. It does hurt a little bit, but just get on with it, it's fine. Okay, so we've actually got two markets. On the left you've got the 20 de Noviembre, and on the right you've got Benito Juarez. So let's maybe have a look around both. Okay, so first up we have Mercado Benito Juarez, I believe. So we've got a lot of clothes here, we've got a lot of shoe stores. One thing they really like is neon tops as well, so if you spot those, you probably see quite a few. I think this is also a food and drink market as well. One thing here is I get so lost in these markets, and I mean, it's a good thing. I think if you're not looking for anything, you just want to experience it, it's perfect to get lost in these markets, but sometimes finding your way out is very tricky. Oh, the bunnies and houses. Oh wow. Love it. There's also a lot of jewellery shops as well. I kind of noticed that just walking around some of these markets. It's good jewellery as well, you know, it's not just cheap stuff. I do fancy just something small to eat, like a little snack or something, but I can't really find anything in this one, so we might try the next one, see if there's anything in that market. Hello, ¿tiene mezcal?
Sí, ¿este es curado o mezcal?
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
Sí, gracias.
De mezcal tengo este que es un espadín blanco, tengo maguey silvestre quiche,
Sí.
pechuga de maguey,
Vale.
de cannabis,
Vale.
añejo de 7 años, abocado con añil, con granas de semillas.
Sí.
Este es un espadín blanco, orgánico. Y este es diferente, este es un maguey silvestre, este es un quiche.
Sí. Vale.
Ese es quiche.
¿Está bien?
Así.
Sí. Está bien, sí.
Ajá, su sabor es completamente diferente.
Sí. Whisky, es whisky, está bien, sí.
Parecido, un sabor parecido, por el tiempo de añejamiento que tiene.
Sí. Está bien, sí.
Ajá, ese es un sabor.
Me gusta mucho de whisky, pero... Sí, gracias.
Sí,
Gracias. Very nice. We've got some mezcal. There's 3 different types, although, God, I did not know what she was saying. Please, if you could translate, tell me what was happening there in the comments. I think we got 3 different types. The first one was a bit heavier, a bit sweeter. The second one was smoother, nicer, and the third one I knew was like a whiskey type. I don't know if, is mezcal also in a whiskey form? I'm not sure, but that was really nice. The whiskey was fantastic. It did taste like a very smooth whiskey, nothing like really harsh, so yeah, very nice. And now it's 11:30 and I'm going to be half cut in about 20 minutes. So mezcal is an alcoholic beverage here in Mexico, and Oaxaca is actually the birthplace, so it felt fitting to have a mezcal right here in the birthplace of it. So yeah, I'm glad I did. And I think now we'll have a look into the next market, which I think is the 20 de Noviembre market, the 20th of November. So there's already a lot more food here. I think this might be the food market actually. 3 chocolate for 100. All kinds as well. I think chocolate is quite famous around here as well. You got food halls here now. So I did actually eat here yesterday. Let's see if I can find the same place to show you what I had. Got moladas, enchiladas. So what I had yesterday was similar to that, which is mole negro, which is it's like a chocolatey kind of sauce, meaty sauce, and I had it with enchiladas. It was nice, although I tell you what, it didn't look that appetizing. In fact, to take that back, it wasn't great at all, because we had these enchiladas, but they were just kind of piled up. Very, very thick, very dry, with this sauce around it. And then I had chorizo as well, and some onions topped, but they were like, no, not chopped onions, they're kind of stringed onions. So yeah, I wonder if that, oh, here we go. It was similar to that, I guess, without the rice, but yeah, it was, it wasn't great. But, you know, mole is very famous here. I think it was actually the birthplace of mole as well. I could be wrong on that, but I felt like I had to try it. I tried it, and I wasn't really a fan. The sauce was alright, but maybe it was just the way that they served it. I'm not sure. I just kind of want something to take on the go. I mean, a lot of people are sitting down and eating, and they're big portions to take away, so I'm not sure I'll find anything in here, but yeah, maybe I'll eat a little bit later. I only had breakfast 2 hours ago, and I had a lot for breakfast, so it's probably better to wait. Obviously nowhere near as big as La Merced, of course, because I think that is probably one of the largest market in the world. Maybe in Mexico, but I think it is the biggest in Mexico City. So it's nice and refreshing to go to a market, turn around, and a couple of streets later you're out. But I think that'll do it for today. Oaxaca, a fantastic little city. I love it so far. I've got 3 more days here. I think we're going on some trips outside of the city to the petrified waterfalls, maybe a mezcal distillery tour, and also on a street food tour as well, which be through the hostel, I think. But if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I'm gonna head back now and have a shower with the shower gel. I'll see you in the next one.